I don't know anything about Warcraft 3. I don't know anything about Warcraft 3 compared to Lynn, right? Hello everyone and welcome to another Nick Oldhead video. We're going over Lynn, we're going over Night Elf, and this time it's LawLiet, or LawLiet, right? Who else wants to know how to pronounce their name? Let me know in the comments. We're going to be going over this Night Elf versus Orc match because, you know, the last time we saw Lynn play Ikes, wasn't that great, right? Undead's tough. Undead is very tough, and I'm not going to even pretend that a player like Labyrinth isn't like the top of the top. I'd say if we're going to start talking about undeads, like Happy may be the more established undead player, but I really do think like Labyrinth just is a little more squirrely. I'm very interested in seeing how Lynn will face against the other undead players, but for now, we're going back to where we started, right? Back to the comfort zone, or probably Lynn's comfort zone, right? It's Orc versus Night Elf. So we've had a little bit of lessons from the last Orc versus Night Elf. We see the Blade Master, and he has built a voodoo lounge kind of near the first creep camp he's going to get. So as the heroes are out, we note that this Night Elf is going Keeper of the Grove. Okay, so we're already going to have a different setup than some of our other games, because Keeper of the Grove is just you know, it's a very strong early game hero, and we're going to actually see Lynn probably choose to do something with this grunt once he sees Keeper. So let's just focus on the decision making. He doesn't know what LawLiet is going to play, right? So he scouts first. You see the grunt and the Blade Master was scouting. I like how this choice here, the grunt down that lane, Blade down this lane, you're able to sneak that. So do we get the Wisp? Oh, you cannot hit the Wisp from there. That's crazy. Nice hiding spot. So, see, like I said, once you see the Keeper, that grunt's just running away. You know, you're not going to be able to do much. The Keeper's level 1, so you don't have Entangle. But once the Keeper gets level 2, it's very hard. Oh, this is really interesting. Are you really going to just go for the trees? No, you're not going to be able to go for those trees. So we're keeping on the Keeper of the Grove because we don't want to get entangled. Oh, we don't want the Keeper to get level 2. But let's look at home. So you can't creep there. You were maybe hopefully able to creep, but the trees expired. We have archers and the whole time you were creeping this. So very nice. You know that's coming, and the Windwalk is able to confirm it. So I like how we were able to still get our turtle camp there. Nice slippers of agility. This is something that you've seen LawLiet do, no, sorry, Lynn do in other games, as in the grunt is scouting, and the grunt is keeping track of what the enemy hero is, and I really just like how Lynn correctly identifies that this giant sea turtle is like a hot item to get. We see we have the, wow, the steel on the high level creep there. At this point, we're just going to go for archers. So if you're trying to like figure out how this game's going, let's just say that any other Orc player would probably be facing a level 2 Keeper of the Grove by now. But Lynn is, oh, this is good. Yeah, just wait. You can't trade with the Blade Master, so Keeper has to run. Another good move by Lynn, you know, trying to make sure the Keeper isn't creeping, but you're eventually going to get the creep. So I like how the Force of Natures were summoned over here, but they walked all the way over here. Finally get level 2. That means entangle. So everything changes now. You see, the grunts have to run. Grunts have to run. And LawLiet knows this. Do you have dust? No, but you reveal. So you reveal using the lab. Yeah, you have a wisp there. So you're not able to get that last hit. Cloak of Shadows is decent. I think Cloak of Shadows is especially good on Night Elf male heroes, right? Keeper of the Grove and Demon Hunter love the Cloak of Shadows. I mean, look, for this perfect reason, right? It's nice that you can hide alongside with your army. If the Keeper didn't have the cloak there, it's so annoying. You actually just has to run from the blade. But what is Lynn doing? Lynn, of course, very good scouting, good awareness. Okay, so this is what we have to be careful of. That Wisp Detonate. That Wisp Detonate removed the mana that you would normally have. Oh, and you're getting shredded. So this is tough. What's Lynn doing right now? I'm pretty sure the Blade's dead, right? Yeah, Blade's dead. Yeah, Blade's dead. And you didn't even get to kill the Shredder. and your grunts and your shadow hunter were creeping. Oh no, they weren't even creeping there. So okay, this is like a moment of Warcraft 3 in which even Lyn kind of reacts suboptimally, right? Lyn should have been creeping maybe some of these small camps with the grunts and the shadow hunter, but instead he was too busy locked in micro over the Blade Master. So now this is actually pretty bad. You have the deny of the archer, level 0 experience on the shadow hunter, and now the keeper is level 3. So do you see how things have like spiraled out of control now? You also have a shredder that's being repaired, so it's looking like a little all-in here. Gotta appreciate this. Oh, Naga. Okay, so the Naga confirms it. Let's switch to LawLiet's vision right now, just because. So the Night Elf right now is going for an all-in attack. You're maxed food. You have these wisps here. You have the shredder, which is a lot of normal damage. Normal damage is really good versus heroes. And you also have a wisp coming out here. So, like, do we have the... We don't have the Hunter's Hall, so we're not going to be able to see Ancient Protectors. Interesting. Now, Lyn, of course... What is Lyn? What is Lyn doing? Come on. Lyn sees this, and we bring peons out. I love this. Smart move. We're not really watching these for entertainment. We're watching these for learning. So let's learn to bring our peons in the same way that Lyn does, right? If we're going to be fighting outside our base, well, we don't really have militia, but we have wood peons. And good usage of grunts on archers. We see this a lot by Lyn. Grunts on archers, forget about it. The peons are doing nothing damage. Oh, the shadow hunter gets destroyed. Now, I'm questioning why wasn't LawLiet repairing? I feel we should have been repairing more. The Moonwell is finished, so I hope LawLiet is aware of that. That's kind of a strange Moonwell position. I really think the peons helped this significantly. Like, you know, if you don't have the peons here and you just have 2 grunts, I think it's easy for, like, this mob to just start focus firing them. But the peons kind of create this, like, risk of being surrounded. You know, it allows your melee units to get... Okay, this grunt's going to die if he comes close there. Blade Master is dying. Okay, so this is a tough game, rough game. I mean, I just GG here, right? If it's me, I just leave the game. Most people just leave the game right now, right? You're getting grunts dying. You've lost a grunt to entangle. If you lose another grunt to entangle, that's so sad. Another grunt's down. Oh, good. You get the disenchant. Ooh, Lyn, the peon. Get rid of the clarity like that. But what are you going to do here? So this is always a smart little move. If you are getting destroyed and you don't know what to do, you can just stand in between your opponent's base and their army, and you see how the reinforcements usually come your way. So I think Lyn just got like a wisp kill because of that, right? So see, look, this is really what you can do. He's waiting until his Blade Master comes back. I need everyone to understand that Lyn cannot fight without the Blade Master. He's fighting now because the archers were doing damage to the burrow. But at this point, the Blade Master's returning, so it's a good fight. Yeah, good fight. I like Lyn's aggressive usage of peons there. Just no care in the world for his lumber economy. This Moonwell was interesting. I like how you can use it from the bottom, but... oh, these are a lot of archers that are going to die. You have no TP. A lot of archers are going to die. 1 archer dead. Let's take a look at what Lyn is focusing. What is he doing with his units? 1 archer dead. 2nd archer dead. Okay, so he sees the archers. Yeah, the archers were out of position. So he's going for them. Ensnare. Notice how he's running the raiders kind of behind the archers. He keeps thinking the archers are going to run, so he's already Yeah, I mean, look at that. Isn't that crazy? You lost your Blade Master. You had all these bad things happen to you. I would have left the game, but Lyn just manages to just... I don't know. Feels like LawLiet kind of lost that game, right? I feel as if you repair the Shredder there during your all-in and the Shredder doesn't die, but... I mean, I'm so thrilled to be watching such skilled players right now, to be honest. You know, as a Warcraft 3 junkie and someone who absolutely loves the nitty-gritty details of this game, a best of 5 set like this between 2 good players, like literally each game gets more interesting, right? Because here we have game 2, a second layer of the puzzle. Are we going to go Keeper of the Grove again, or are we going to go Demon Hunter again, right? Now that that information is known, both players can react. So nope, Insta Blade Master. Let's see if we get the Demon Hunter. So this is a strong Demon Hunter map. We kind of already predicted the Demon Hunter, kind of based off this ancient location. I feel like if you go Keeper, you're putting your ancient here because you're trying to keep, creep really big. But we get that classic Night Elf opening, and you know what? Let's just enjoy the wisp placement a bit by LawLiet here. LawLiet, right? It's a nice usage of the wisps. You get a scout on the goblin shop there. You get a scout on, like, if your opponent's going here. So this is nice, you know. You can know when your opponent is moving around the map because of these really strategic wisp locations. So now, we are Orc, though. We don't have wisps. We just go straight to the middle of the map and get that Null Brute. So really love the way that Lin is so clever on his itemization, right? Like, he knows which items are where, and he knows which items are, like, good. Let's see. I bet he's going to end up somehow getting, like, a Circlet, Claws of Attack, Slippers. Alright, so both heroes get their 2 starting items. It's very common for the Blade to sell Circlet. To sell TP and buy Circlet, so. Demon Hunter chasing Grunt. There's no way the Grunt's going to die. So Lin knows that. Do you notice the moment that the Demon Hunter stops attacking the Grunt, Lin starts to chase the Demon Hunter. The goal is to keep tabs on the Demon Hunter, not necessarily to, like, fight him. So we don't have Dust, so the Night Elf's just sitting here protecting his wisps. Grunt comes out. What is this Grunt going to do? Wow, you're just in the base. So at this point, we're trying to look at the game state and not only watch the Blade Master chop these archers, but ask of oneself, why? Oh no, don't die. That's crazy. Are you gonna lose your... That's crazy. Okay, deep in my heart, I already thought it was a little a little suspect. I think some of you could have felt in my tone. I was like, what? Why is Lin attacking right here? It's a little strange. Like, 1 Grunt, 1 Archer against level 2 Demon Hunter. You just lose your Demon. You just lose your Blade. And can I just say that there's, like, no positives to this? There's no positives. So Lin is on the back foot. You have a tier 2 tech and your 3 Grunts. And your Shadow Hunter is not delayed. So that's pretty good. You're just tech to tier 2. Shadow Hunter is not delayed. The 3 Grunts now make this Demon Hunter cannot trade. Yeah, you cannot trade versus 3 Grunts. You're going to have to creep this. Note how the low HP Grunt was there to creep, and the 2 high HP Grunts are harassing the Demon Hunter. So this is a... Oh yeah, I'm starting to see this, Lin. You really do harass the Demon Hunter with some Grunts, huh? So the Demon Hunter goes on their side of the map, and Lin says, okay, it's finally time to start creeping my Shadow Hunter. He sees the Shadow Hunter is going to be coming back. So what does he do? 3 Grunts and a Shadow Hunter. How many times have we seen this situation in a Lin versus Night Elf game, right? So we need to start doing this. 3 Grunts and a Shadow Hunter by minute 5. Kill that Archer. Kill that Archer. Kill that Archer. Did you get the last hit? Yeah, I would have just killed that Archer. Ah, you see, now you have to use the Windwalk. Now it gets denied. Come on. It's easier said than done, because I'm just watching. However, I do still think that, like, the real decision there was which do you value more, killing an Archer or stealing Demon Hunter experience, right? In theory, the Archer still died, so it's not like anything bad happened, but the Blade Master didn't get any experience. I kind of think I would have, again, like to just hit the archers. Now the Shadow Hunter's creeping. That's going fine. Is the Blade going to steal this? Nice! And you steal the Flute of Accuracy. This is just... Wow. Peak Lin, right? Peak Lin. You know the Keeper doesn't have Entangle level 1. Just going trees. Which, by the way, you're not even using trees? Where are the trees, Lin? LawLiet. Where are the trees? Are you not scouting with them? No. Okay. just missing. But that was really sick. You sell it immediately. So Lin's got lots of gold. He just stole that creep. And now you're going to go creeps themselves. Goblin shop. Just check out the items on the blade. Circlet, gauntlets, claws, slippers. Just a priority of creeping. Same with the Demon Hunters. So a pretty equal game. 43 out of 51 food. We have a primarily melee composition. But we do get the Ice Troll Berserker. Really powerful ranged unit, by the way. It's overstated for its cost. 28 out of 37 piercing damage is quite good. Isn't it interesting how the Forest Troll Berserker is 28 out of 37? And the Ice Troll Berserker is also 28 out of 37? So why is the Forest Troll Berserker a creep, but the Ice Troll Berserker is a merc? Come on. Furbolg will not get stolen by Blade Master. We're not there in quick. But the Archer focus. I like the Archer focus. We've seen this because, you know, they're the lowest HP unit. Now that's not good. You don't want to be having Raiders hit Demon Hunter. Decent Ancient of War position there. It's actually a not bad fight for LawLiet, but we see the Grunts manage to find their way on the Archer again. And actually, the micro is pretty good. Like, if you see what's kind of happening here, I feel as if LawLiet's doing a lot of chasing of these Raiders, putting a lot of resource and time in, and in the meantime, Ensnare is doing a pretty good job of... Now, see that Ensnare, yeah, the Ensnare's doing a good job of ensuring these kills. So you don't have an Ensnare yet for that. That ran out. And we have one more Raider left. So now it's the decision of, can I stay here? You just use your... You're probably going to need to get the blade out of here. Blade's dead. Blade's dead. Nice try, though. That was a fast attempt. But the blade just not quite fast enough. You know, there is always a point in which the Orc player needs to, like, know when to retreat. And I think it's easier in hindsight because I'm watching, but the moment your ensnares were on cooldown and there was really no units left to kill, yeah, that was the time to retreat. But we didn't get that time to retreat. We didn't choose the perfect timing, and we lost both heroes. So we need the Shadow Hunter to come back from the tavern because the Blade Master was already building from the altar. You know, 2 grunts dying. This is tough. So, I mean, I'm not going to knock Lin, and I'm not going to call him out or say he's going to lose the game, because last game I thought he was dead for sure. But this does look pretty behind. So let's see how Lin moves. How does Lin play when the dude's behind? You get Raider speed scroll. That's smart. You don't want to lose a Raider. So that's a 50 gold investment by the Orc. And what, 350 for the Night Elf who had to TP. So note, there is no TP left on the Night Elf, which is a pretty interesting strategic place to be, because now that means a hero kill is usually a good situation. However, LawLiet knows that and has invulnerability potions on each hero, so still feels safe that you can fight. Are you going to get a TP? Okay. So this is the decisions, right? Lin could have bought anything at that goblin shop, right? He could have bought anything. Could have bought a scroll of healing, but he bought a scroll of town portal. So that means he's going to use his raiders. He's going to use his mobility. And the Night Elf sees this. Night Elf buys a TP as well. Night Elf sees this is happening and just decides to TP. Look at that. Not even the... What a short... That's just not really worth it. Maybe it is. 1 TP for 1 raider. So this is an economic game now, as in the Orc player still has the TP, right? So whereas the Night Elf player has like such higher heroes, all of it is stalling to try to build an expansion. So this is classic Orc lame. Did you notice how the Blade Master came back in when he was invisible? So now the Night Elf keeps feeling like, oh, I have to go back to base. I have to go back to base. This is classic lame play. This is like good. Orcs can do this well because we have speed scroll, and we see a lot of scroll of teleportation this game. Lin knows he can't go here because the elf army's here. This is tough. No endurance aura. You just ring around the Lin right here. This is so tough. There's no way you win this game, right? You're just getting chased. This is abysmal. No, you're just losing all units. I mean, this is another game where if it was me, I just leave. But, you know, Lin must see. He's running in circles. Lin's just running in circles. Okay, now gets the TP. Maybe could have TP'd earlier, but the expansion is not up yet, but it's close. All of this was an attempt to stall for the expansion. We need to build Grunt Raider. We have a tower up, but look, you can just go other end. So I don't think Lin's going to win this game. Not a chance. Yeah, there's just too much. Level 5 Demon Hunter. Look at that scroll. Yeah, GG's. What did you do wrong that game, Lin? Well, you just lost your heroes too many times. Right? So it's 1-1. Currently 1-1. Now, I personally think Turtle Rock's an orc map. There, I said it. I said it. I just think Turtle Rock's an orc map. I like this map for orc. I like how there's so many giant sea turtles that are particularly vulnerable to Farseer or Blade Master. I like how Blade Master and Grunt can creep so well. I like how that's a good item for the Blade Master. I like how that creep is a good item for the Blade Master. Like, there's just a lot of good early game. So you can sometimes go bam, bam, and then get a circlet, or even just do it the other way. So the circlet's used to kill the ogre. It's just a good map. And there's also some fun orc strategies you can do with Tri-Hero and a fast expansion here. Because the bases are so close, you can like make a bunch of watchtowers and like build a little voodoo lounge, proxy a barracks, and before you know it, you can have a base here. Anyways, it's just some old school Turtle Rock stuff. This map isn't on the W3 Champions ladder, so sad. And we begin. So the giant sea turtles are getting crept, and we do have Keeper of the Grove. So I personally like Keeper of the Grove. If I was a Night Elf player, I would be one of those that just focuses on Keeper all the time, because I think you can like learn to play with the Keeper of the Grove in really unique ways. I like how you can sometimes rush to level 3 and then have like level 2 trees into an Ancient Protector rush. Now we get the parry out to Vitality for the item there. We may sell that. We may sell that, right? We don't know for sure, but we may just sell that. Let's look at the strategy here. It's gonna have a tech to tier 2, no War Mill.
We're under attack.
Alright, now that Grunt will get entangled. Oh, what? Come on, entangle it. Entangle it. Is the range on Entangle that short? Okay, yeah, I guess it is. I didn't realize it. So the range on Entangle is pretty short. You gotta chase the Grunt for it. Now at this point, we're just gonna try to deny the Grunt, right? I'm going to now say I think you should have denied that Grunt. I think you could have windwalked to deny that Grunt. I know that's crazy, but could have done it. This is something that LawLiet has shown he's really good at, like knowing when to pressure the Blade Master. I like the decision to use Speed Scroll there because it really allows the nice blocking there. LawLiet's good with the blocking. That tree's not going to be able to die. Oh, it will. How much experience does the tree give? 20 experience. Not bad. It's like a peon. Essentially like a peon. This is what I was saying, right? Remember how I was saying this map's good for orc? Lin, like a good orc, was like, okay, fine. If we're not going to do anything, I'm just going to steal some items. That's a good move by orc. If the opponent is just kind of wasting time, you can literally just windwalk and take an item. And that's so clever. Using the full duration of windwalk, by the way, that's another good trick from Lin. You know, the more your Blade Master can stay invisible, it's like pressure against the opponent. Look at these items: Gloves of Haste, Double Circlet, the Gauntlet. That's a really strong Blade Master. And we're going to see it again. 3 grunts into Shadowhunter creeping. Now, I do love LawLiet strategies. Look at this. Rexar. When do you see that? When do you see a Night Elf go Beastmaster? It's pretty rare. But we do have a theme here, right? We're having a little bit of summons. Now, we've seen Lin wreak havoc in the Night Elf base before. And LawLiet TPs before the lore can get canceled. So very good. They're actually super smooth by LawLiet, right? You know you're not going to let your Ancient of Lore die. So you TP like later, you don't TP immediately. So you were essentially wasting the Blade Master's time, and you knew you were going to TP and just kill him. So, wow. It's really amazing how many times Lin's losing the Blade Master in this series, but I suppose that's just the way the cookie crumbles. If you're going to be using the Blade Master as like a really powerful solo force that does things on the map, oh, the risk of the Blade Master dying is always there. We see that this was scouted, so it looks like Lin knows that the Night Elf just crept his expansion. And that's actually a pretty good move by LawLiet. If you're going to be playing on Turtle, you can creep the opponent's expansion first, because it's usually pretty safe. Who's going to walk all the way over there? Nice little turtle camps, get destroyed by the grunts. Lin already took the item here, so we're not going to see that. And we're going to get the other level 5 item. Yep, we sold the paramount. We were correct. Okay, so we have a level 3 Beastmaster. That's actually pretty tough. Level 2 Quillbores are good. At this point, if I'm Lin, I'm not liking how low level my Blade Master is, right? We're going level 2 Serpent Wards, maybe? Now, this is a classic orc move, right? Lin knew that the Night Elf opponent was going to fight, right? Level 3, you have these two early game tempo heroes, Keeper of the Grove and Beastmaster. So, orc always wants to base trade versus Night Elf, right? Because we have Siege, we have normal, it just does way more damage against Fortified. Whereas the Night Elf, they're essentially forced to go after our burrows. So, yep, have to TP there because we're just going to kill your base so much more. And it's not the worst position to fight in because you're fighting into Serpent Wards. So, smart move by LawLiet, knows that the Serpent Wards do a lot of damage and have low HP. So, in the same way that Lin must be smart and focus the archers, so much LawLiet and focus down the Serpent Ward. So really smart there, but you also have to consider, is focusing down all of the Serpent Wards always the correct move? Because like the Blade Master is not getting damaged, right? These grunts aren't getting damaged. So you see how level 2 Serpent Wards, like you can sometimes just be obsessed with level 2 healing wave, but level 2 Serpent Wards have more health than level 1 Serpent Ward, so it's still damage mitigation. Love the Dispel there to try to remove some of the mana. I think you actually probably need to remove more mana there. More of those whiffs should have detonated the Shadow Hunter, because that level 2 healing ward was good. But this is just such a great game for Serpent Wards. Oh, that Shri did 49 damage to the Blade. Blade doesn't have to run. You have regeneration going and the Potion of Invulnerability, so at this point, the Serpent Wards are getting such good value, you're just fighting. You should probably force the Beastmaster to use the potion, right? I was thinking you maybe force that, but maybe not. Because I just feel as if the Beastmaster has such high health, you're rarely going to get a chance to force the Beastmaster to use the healing potion. So, like, I would hate to have the Beastmaster be full health again with another like full stack of healing potions. So little missed opportunity there, but you know, this game it's really hard for the orc to slow down Night Elf, but I do like the decision. He knows that you have Potion of Invulnerability, so you can push this. Where's Blade going? Staying around. Kills the Dryad, 60 experience, nice. 1 Dryad is equal to 1 Grunt. Didn't know that until this very moment. I mean, maybe I did incidentally, but it now has become clear to me that a Grunt is worth 60 experience, and so is a Dryad. So both hard to kill in their own right. Let's see what item the Blade Master is going to get from this Overlord. Cloak of Flames, not bad actually. Cloak of Flames does allow the DPS of the Blade Master to increase. We still have... Now, we notice Walkers. Walkers is very much needed versus Keeper of the Grove. Smart move there. Get the Tome of Agility on your Blade Master. Gotta do the right thing. Don't leave the tome. Huh. Low HP Peon to build the Great Hall. What a min-max. Low HP Peon. And of course, LawLiet immediately puts up the Ancient, protector. So really good heads-up play by LawLiet. Sees the... But what does Lin do? Lin sends a grunt and a raider to deal with it. That's smart. The grunt for the wisp. Once it cancels. Okay, 13 experience each. Okay. Yeah, TP. There you go. You see, we saw this happen before. We knew that this sort of base race scenario was something that Lin... I mean, he seems to be setting up, right? Just the smart movement on the map. You're able to be in the same situation you just were, which was like a winning fight. Because just look at the damage. You have Serpent Wards and Blade. And wow, you were able to cancel the entire expansion? Wow, that's pretty cool. So it's the summons. The whole summons cancel that expansion. But the whole time this fight's going on, this looks like GG. So, isn't this just Orc heroes doing what Orc heroes do best? You eventually got the Orc heroes to be too strong, and the tempo of a Beastmaster and Keeper was not able to sustain. Yeah, this looks like game. Serpent Ward's doing so well. Level 3, 46 to 50 damage. That's actually insane. I always forget how much damage they do, and they have 200 health, so you're just like summoning units that are like almost strictly better than Dryads. They do so much damage against Dryad. So much damage against a Dryad. That's insane. It really is insane. So it's almost 80 damage a hit on a Dryad. Turtle Rock, Orc map for sure. We saw that efficient creeping. Now this is a best of 5 though. So we have our work cut out for us. Lin, it's already exhausting thinking. Can you imagine having to play these players back to back like this? I couldn't do it. I'd be like, can I get a 30-minute break, please? Can I, like, take a nap? No, you have to play against the Night Elf again and again and again, back to back. Now, for those of you who've been following this channel and some of the posts I make, my Warcraft 3 stamina has been a little off lately, right? I need to improve my stamina. As in, I just need to play more games. Literally play more games. Life gets busy, work gets busy, but there's this gnawing little sneaking voice in my head that says, why aren't you playing? Why aren't you playing Warcraft 3? So to silence that voice, we watch Lin. And I actually will say that my understanding of Orc versus Night Elf in particular, because the first chunk of his games in this tournament so happens to be Orc versus Night Elf, I can already feel myself just like knowing the matchup better. Like I'm starting to be able to discern whether or not a situation is advantageous for 3 grunts and a Shadow Hunter. I think like the decision of when your Shadow Hunter stops creeping and when your Shadow Hunter like helps the Blade Master harass the Night Elf seems to be really important. Nice elusive creeping route here by Lin. So okay, this is actually really unique. We've already crept the middle things, right? We've seen this many times in this map. And instead of going for this bottom one, we have Lin going for the opponent. So this is kind of more aggressive. And that's why we're actually seeing the Night Elf here. Do we see the Night Elf? Yep, we see the Night Elf. Oh, wow, I sneezed. I sneezed, but I paused the video just before I sneezed into the mic. That's great. In this situation, what do? I'm a humble Orc player. I'm windwalked, and I'm healing. I see my Night Elf opponent just sitting around. It's actually pretty good on LawLiet to wait there. Just he knew he needed dust. Gets the dust. That archer's dead. Ooh, nice crit. Can't even deny it. We have also seen this before. Lin uses Speed Scroll to like force at least one archer kill in the early game. And that, you know, not only does it slow down the creeping, but, you know, you're just netting an archer kill. We also got Altar of Storms coming up. Torrent Totem. Yep, same unit composition. And target selection, archers. Yeah, nice. So the Blade doing some orb walking here. Gonna need to get one more chop, but LawLiet's really good for the last minute blocks. Now it's a Demon Hunter surround. Attempted. 4 units surround, always tough. Nice pickup here. I think you can. I think you can kill that ancient.
Research complete.
there's a situation in which maybe the blade stays there and just kills the ancient. I mean, you have Ring of Protection, but maybe not. So the Shadow Hunter is not joined by the grunts. The grunts are waiting for them. So Lin needs to essentially protect this area. You're like, I'm going to sit there and attack you. Can't do it forever. No hex. Going Serpent Wards. You get the reveal there because you want to see if there's an archer in hiding. Level 6 Forest Troll Warlord. That's a lot of experience. For both heroes. What, 60 experience? Both heroes? Yeah. Like 60 and 50. Nandieb, that Keeper of the Grove. Got it. Man, Keeper of the Grove has some weird names. That is for sure. Lin at this point still has a pretty powerful blade. We've seen double circlet twice now. So itemization is important versus Demon Hunter. We see a Creepjack. Lin must know the Creepjack's coming because the Wisp here. And at this point, just TP? No, you don't have a TP. Tries to confirm the kill on archers. Speed scroll on the archers and speed scroll to run away from the shadow. So you kill at least 2 archers, right? 1 grunt stays there. That's really good micro to have the 1 grunt stay there. This really good micro by Lin. Even though you lose your Shadow Hunter, you maybe force the TP on the demon? No, it can't force that TP just yet. Chop, 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 chop. Another ensnare is coming here. Alright, and we have the self-imposed TP. So, by the way, pretty clever to not attack the Demon Hunter because you would have just forced the TP anyway. He just forces and kills the Dryad. So, good for you, Lin. Lin's getting another item camp. Nice. Gauntlets. Would have liked slippers, but we have a Night Elf expansion here that's pretty annoying. Oh, this is a close one. Because if this Night Elf expansion goes up, and if Lin is not able to do anything, you're going to get a excessive amount of Dryads sooner rather than later. Lin hasn't been doing a lot of ensnare creeping this set, actually. This is the first time you've really seen him this set do what he's really good at, this sort of creeping, so. I wonder where you go after that. Do you even continue to kill these with the Blade Master? So Blade Master passes off the ring and goes exploring. I like this play by Lin. Lin does this often. Scouts with the Blade Master. Needs to maybe harass the expansion a bit. No Wisp to kill, so can't do that. Scouting, scouting. You need level 3 before you attack proper. Maybe try to kill that Dryad? Nah, I just don't want to get mana burned. Oh, those raiders are going to get a nice little ensnare against the level 7. There you go. And then surround it. Nice, surround it. Oh, come on, Lin. You didn't surround that. I felt like that was a pretty easy surround, but nice. But this is good stuff, right? Orc can afford to essentially play on this bridge because you have ensnare. Raiders running back. Yo, 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 yo. Double damage. Dead, dead. Now, the multiple ensnares here is actually not a good habit. You don't really need to ensnare multiple units at once. It's usually best to ensnare like 1 or 2. Because you want to like throw the ensnares on top of each other to prevent running. We click on heroes. We see they both have invuln potion. So now it's just a matter of when you're going to use it. See, that's a great ensnare. Ensnare just as the enemy is about to move. Very good. Whereas you saw in that fight, we had some ensnare just like as you were fighting. Not really good. You want to save ensnare for when your enemy turns away, you know? Got Wand of the Wind. Sick. Wand of the Wind can be really nice versus the Demon Hunter. This creep camp is in such contention. And it makes sense, you know. This is the ability to be on the map without being vulnerable is a lot of what Warcraft 3 is about. So this is a vulnerable situation for the Dryads. You cannot run very well here. You're just in a corner. Do you see that? That movement did almost nothing. You just have to run straight out, then you get ensnared. 2 grunts. Can't really kill these Dryads because they're too slow. But the grunts are hopefully going to get that kill. Alright, 1 grunt down. Heal scroll unfortunately misses that Dryad. Wow, chop, chop, chop. The Blade Master is just chopping. The 3 Raiders at a time. It's some nice damage there. Gonna use TP. No, heal first. Uses heal potion first. Starts continue chopping. I mean, maybe he waited until Dust was used, then you could use the Involve. That archer does not get away. Wow, nice thinking. So it's a bloodbath here. All units are being traded, but feel as if the Blade Master is going to come out on top because it still has the invulnerability. About to get level 5. Level 3 crit would be huge. I wonder if that's what they're going to go. They're trying to kill the Keeper. Very fleshy hero. Oh, immediately buys TP. Wow, man. It's like easy to forget how skillful of an expression that just was. Like, Lin is really good at Work Up 3. Just to know, to push it, to stay there for that long, and then eventually, you know, buy in the TP. So now we're creeping, we're creeping, we're creeping. The Night Elf is like, I need to defeat the Orc expansion. I've been expanding much longer, but this Orc has caught up, so now that needs to go. But the Night Elf has a hard time killing buildings, especially when you go this Dryad strategy. It's going to be very slow. Have to cope with the Peons instead. Peons just start hoofing it, running. Here comes the damage. Nice. Already 2 hits in, and the Keeper's got like missing nearly 200 health. Level 2 Serpent Wards again, doing really good. You technically want to refocus the Serpent Wards on the Dryads, but that's a little tricky for 1. 1 Dryad down, but 2 Dryads down. Good ensnare. What's Lin's base like? Kodo. Kodo's important, I suppose. You don't know when the first bear is going to come. Okay, this is not looking good. Actually, as in, Orc has a hard time regenning. Orc has a hard time healing quickly. And when the Night Elf's just at your base here, attacking your expansion, it's going to be hard for that Blade Master to get 4 HP. Let's see how he does it, though. Raiders, ooh, getting killed. That Demon Hunter level 5. Ayah. Entangle. It feels as if this is just a kind of expansion game, as in we're going to get high level heroes, right? Neither player was able to destroy the other's expansions. That means the units are going to be just like built. They're going to be killed and then built, killed and then built. I mean, the use of healing potions as well is not a really financially economic item, but when you have an expansion, you know, buy some potions, right? You want to buy that immediate tempo swing of the HP or the mana. And let's see now, how is this stalking? You're just essentially using Windwalk level 2. So it's Windwalk level 2. We did go level 3 Critical Strike, which I think is the smart move, do a lot of damage. So Lin sees this, has the Serpent Wards. We've loved this before from Lin. We love the way that Lin knows when the Night Elf opponent has to fight in, so just places the Serpent Wards. And yeah, we maybe even get an Eat, get a Kodo Devour. Kodo's not quite. Oh, now he gets the Devourer. Another Dryad down. Really feels like that Serpent Ward nest is just getting a little ignored. You know, you want to be doing some damage towards it, because if not, you just have like, that's, you know, so much damage. Like 150 DPS. With 4 of them there, right? It's about that. Ring of Regen, Slippers. I really like Ring of Regen on the Demon Hunter. It's good, effective HP, especially when you're dodging attacks with evasion and healing at the same time. I feel as if the only thing I would have maybe liked is like you need to start putting the Serpent Wards a little, like, I think you can put one here. I think you can put serpent wards in other locations. You kind of want your serpent wards to be attacking the dryads, right? So if you put one like right here, it'll kind of auto hit the dryads. Raiders are doing good damage, so we get the healing scroll to help them out. But usually this is a bad sign when the wisps come in, because that means the night elf is trying to grasp at straws. But LawLiet isn't quite detonating yet, just letting them get very low. Wow, wisp tank. Look at this, just tanking. 1 wisp down, 2 wisps down. Okay, and we get the detonate. Detonate earlier would have been good. LawLiet is stressed. You have to play against Lin, and Lin's doing that thing where he's not dying, but Lin's also doing that thing where he's not moving. So he just keeps... Look at this. He just... Like, night up. You don't have to attack right here, right? You don't have to attack. You could do something else. And that's what they choose to do. They say, yeah, why am I doing this? So we see the game progress. Both players looking around, buying invuln potions. Shadowhunter trying to creep to level 5. So is Keeper. Nice. So they creep to level 5. And they're probably going to get 5 here in any second. This whole time, Big Turtle's uncrept. Lin pulling the nice moves, nice maneuvers. Okay, so look at why this is so important. If Lin was just fighting normally, he gets creepjacked. But because he pulled, he's now confronting the enemy here. Imagine if the orc army was here instead of here. It's a very different fight. Blade versus Demon, always good because you just need crits. If you get no crits, then there's no chance. But that 226 crit was good. Blade just getting focused. You're gonna level 3 healing ward? No, level 3 serpent ward, not healing wave. I mean, yeah, it does a lot of damage. You can get out, Blade Master. Sometimes you just have to keep chopping, right? Sometimes you just keep chopping. Sometimes the TP doesn't work. That happens to me a lot. Sometimes just keep chopping. Because it is better than to like just run away and miss damage while you're still getting hit. You can always get lucky and roll some crits. Okay, who's going to win this? There's a lot of walkers. You have maybe a little too much walkers, not enough raiders. Let's see how the walkers do. Ooh, nice chunking on the bear. Blade Master's low though. There's no real tank. This is usually when you go mirror images. Yeah, this looks like it. Level 6, but what's it to do for, you know? Yep. Bye-bye, Lin. Ah, Lin. Couldn't win that one. It's 2-2 right now. So far, we've seen really great keeper play by LawLiet. We've seen LawLiet creeps fairly well. But now it's the last map. We've seen the strengths of Lin and like the way he scouts. You know, the strength of Lin is the way he sees the creep routes. So now, what do you think the strength of LawLiet could be instead? Game 5. It's on a pretty big map. Twisted Meadows. If I'm LawLiet, I think I'm preferring the mass dryads. I think I'm liking the dryad opening, and I'm really enjoyed the kind of attacking of the expansion. But at this point, the early game seems to be where us viewers can get some predictions, right? The early game seems to be like where the things we learn come from. We can maybe influence our early game the best. Some of those late game decision making, right? It's like my opponents are never going to be as good as LawLiet, so there's so much you can do there in terms of exposing ourselves to good Warcraft 3 info. But this is great Warcraft 3 info. Look at what he does there. Rather than get body blocked, you just wind walk. You can build your Voodoo Lounge there, creep, immediately sell the item, and creep some more. Look, you're just going for the level 3 brute. Just that little guy, the most HP, just stealing the level 3s. Gets the slippers, so he was obviously going for double slipper there. Think about each of these small items could be holding an, a camp. So both players grab their item, though we only sold the Cloak of Shadows. Buy Circlet. Circlet Dust. And if we know Lynn, let's hunt some archers down. Yeah. This is like standard. This is like part of Lynn's meta. Buy Circlet, Dust, and hunt down those archers. And I actually really like this play, right? You're draining the moon wells. You're using the speed scroll to confirm. Nice. Good hide there, too. You, on average, seem to get only 1 kill. But now we need to somehow block this. We need to block. Look at this body blocking now. We need to... Right? Don't we need to help that grunt? Lynn! Lynn, help the grunt! Okay, there we go. Block, block, block. Oh, nope. Look at this. Oh, no, nope. It's so tense. Oh, grunt, don't die! Ah, denied. Good job. So we denied the grunt. Don't want to get that easy 60 experience. Tier 2. Immediately goes double bestiary. Okay. So no Tauren Totem this time. Going double bestiary. And aggressive again. So the 2 grunts, we've noticed this. The grunts are keeping on the Demon Hunter. And just like that game on Hammerfall, I believe one of the lores is going to be cancelled. We've cancelled 1 lore. It's probably going to be built back. Now we have the Shadow Hunter and 3 grunts creeping. However, the Blade Master items are a little better than Demon Hunters, so you can afford to do those trades. No solo creeping with the Shadow Hunter this time. So this is a different build, right? This is a different build. Oh, so smart. We know. So Lynn is like creeping because you're very aware of what Night Elf does. They're creeping this as well. So just we're going to keep looking at it from Lynn's perspective. This is crazy, right? The Night Elf comes from the woods, comes from the trees there. But we do get the Raider priority. So we have a prioritization on Raiders. And now we're focusing the Ensnared unit with grunts. Nice, archer down. We have another form of CC. That should be another archer down. Now, are you going to get the deny? No, don't get the deny. Ensnared, and the Raider lives. So this is a really good little power spike. You go double Raider, you go Ensnare immediately, go Raider immediately, then just pump out Raiders. Build more burrows, okay, that figures. Another Cloak of Shadows? Jeez. Okay. Let's see. If I'm Lynn right here, I'm feeling great that I've killed so many archers, right? What's the food count? What's the food count here? 40 versus 40. No, 40 versus 43. But, you know, not every food is created equal. Are we going to get this kill from Lynn? Forest Troll. Oh, and the Lion Horn of Storm. Such a good item. Gets the Devotion Aura. Increased armor. So now all your Orc units are pretty tanky. The Detonate. The Archer down. So we have 1 Raider for 1 Dryad and Archer. Grunts are doing some decent damage on the Dryad here. You don't want Grunts on the Ancient. That is bad. So good on LawLiet for tanking the grunts here. Nice, we do get 1 kill, and the Dryad does live. This Dryad does live. A lot of damage by the Ancient of War here. Raiders coming through. And we're just getting absolutely cooked. Another grunt down. Now we're just surrounded by dryads. And this is not good. All your units are dead, Lynn. Oh no, do you lose this, Lynn? Do you lose the final game? It's been a real long slog between these guys. Sobi Mask. Very good. So Sobi Mask allows the Shadow Hunter to get some of that regen. What upgrades do we go? No upgrades by Lynn. We're just going Mass Raiders. You'd think you'd get an armor upgrade or something because you already have devotional aura, but not quite. Just trying to focus on building the massive fleet of raiders here. Okay, we're doing some creeping. And let's see how we do this. We're trying to steady creep the rock golem, but that's not going to happen. Serpent wards are fighting out of position. Don't really like this decision by Lynn because the speed scroll doesn't get much value and the serpent wards, but at the same time you're killing a lot of dryads and you maybe know this is your moment of parity. This is the moment in which you and the Night Elf are like of equal strength. Can we confirm these dryad kills? Very good. Confirm the dryad kills. You do need to use ensnare. Can only confirm maybe one. Oh, the crit! That is insane. That's so crazy how you're able to get both those kills. So the crit helped you out there. Actually, it's funny. That actually like changed things. Those last 3 kills made that in Lynn's favor. So the Shadow Hunter with great items. The Blade Master getting there too. Wouldn't be surprised if you buy another circlet. It seems like a Lynn thing to do here. Nah, instead we get Scroll of Healing. Ensnare immediately? No, let's focus Moonwells. Tough fight, because you have to fight in this choke no matter what. Dryad gets... Oh, look, that Dryad was almost dead, then it got heal scrolled. How annoying. Moonwell going to be falling. 1 Moonwell for 2 Raiders, for 2 Serpent Wards, 2 Raiders. Looks like just 1 Raider, but those are on life support for real. Level 2 Serpent Ward? Yes, level 2. Run! Uh-oh. There you go. That one died. Chop. Chop. Potion used, and that's a dead... Dead Demon Hunter! And just like that. Just like that. Serpent Words on display. You got to give credit for the way that Lynn keeps the raiders who are low health in the fight. Because a raider represents ensnare, and ensnare represents a kill. Ah, it's level 2. Healing wave now. This feels great. Serpent Ward's getting in lots of hits. And I think LawLiet was doing a pretty good job of focusing down the Serpent Wards, but at this point your demon's dead. And that blade just keeps hitting your keeper. One moment that ensnare is going to come. Where is the demon hunter? Dead. Not being raised. Wow. Lynn, looks like you did it. Looks like Lynn did it. We went Hex and Serpent Ward this game. Hex, Serpent Ward, no healing wave. That's so crazy. No healing wave, pure offense. Lynn. Lynn versus LawLiet. Wow, that was pretty good. Give a big shout out to Lynn. What did we learn there, guys? And gal. And there's like 1 gal. YouTube says 99.9% of this audience is male. But I digress. I think, like we saw in the other Night Elf games, Lynn's usage of the Serpent Ward is really good. We also saw Lynn just like overall map awareness, right? Knowing that the Night Elf opponent is going to be creeping with the Ancient through the trees, then you're there, right? All these little moves like that. Blade Master, every game, right? No mirror image as well. Windwalks. We saw mirror image for some of the other elves, but it's probably where we differ. I think I prefer mirror image. I even respec mirror image sometimes after a win-walk game. But hey, if you enjoyed this game, if you enjoyed this video, give it a subscribe. We're going to be watching more of Lin games. And you know what? We're going to be trying to play some matches of our own. So thanks for watching, and see you guys later.